Kevin James, a radio talk show host for KRLA in Los Angeles, and Mark Green is president of the Air America Radio. Let me go to Kevin first. Who do you think President Bush was talking about today in the Knesset?
Well, I don't know who he was talking about for sure, Chris, but if he wasn't talking about Barack Obama,
he should have been talking about
Barack Obama. I hope.
You think there's any doubt he was? Was there any doubt he was, though, sir?
Not in my mind, there wasn't. No, not in my mind.
And you think it was a fair shot to go overseas and to take a shot politically against a fellow American?
Let me tell you who should have been overseas. Barack Obama should have been overseas and talking to Israel in the Knesset. Barack Obama's the one whose Israel policies are very questionable. Barack Obama's the one who had Robert Malley, a Middle East foreign policy advisor, who just left the Obama campaign because it was discovered that he was secretly working in confidence with Hamas. Barack Obama's the one who is endorsed by Hamas. Barack Obama's the one who needs to be making good with the people in Israel right now in this election season. His policies
Why is Israel now the center of the Republican campaign? What is Israel about here in this presidential campaign? Why the focus on Israel?
It's not that they're the center of the campaign, Chris. It's the 60th. Because you always get me excited, Chris. It's because
Why are you so excited about Israel?
I had to listen to Biden.
How did this become your issue?
Go on about all this political.
No, I'm just curious.
Business.
Why are we turning Israel into Hyde Park Corner, Speaker's Corner? Why is Israel becoming the new podium for political activity?
We're talking about Israel because it's the 60th anniversary of their independence, and it's where President Bush happened to be today talking about the Knesset when he launched this blurb against Obama. I'm glad he did it. I wish the White House had been a little more forthcoming in saying, you better believe this is against Obama because his policies are dangerous for this country, and they're dangerous for Israel as well.
I want to do a little history check on you because the president's referring to history. He attacked those who would imitate Senator William Bloor of Idaho, who was a Republican isolationist back in the late 30s, who supported whatever, some notion of getting along with Hitler better. Let me ask you, what did Chamberlain do wrong, Neville Chamberlain do wrong in 1939? What did he do wrong?
It all goes back to appeasement.
No, what did he do? Tell me what he did.
It's the key term.
You have to answer this question.
He goes,
what did he do?
It's the same thing. It puts it all,
tell me what he did.
About appeasement.
What did Chamberlain do wrong?
His actions enabled, energized, legitimized. It's the exact same.
I'm not going to continue this interview unless you would answer what that thing is. What did Chamberlain do in 39? Tell me.
Chris, it's the exact same thing. All
what did he do? What did he do?
What, 38, 39, Chris? What year do you want? It doesn't. It's the exact same thing that happened, Chris.
What did Chamberlain?
He's talking about appeasement.
All right. What did Chamberlain do? Just tell me what he did, Kevin. What did Chamberlain do you didn't like? What did he do?
What Chamberlain did what the president was talking about? You just said the president was talking about. You just said the president was talking about Barack. Look,
I want you to tell me, Mister, you're making a reference to the days before our involvement in World War II when the war in Europe began. I want you to tell me now, as an expert, what did Chamberlain do wrong?
Look, you're not going to box me in here. President Bush was making that. I'm glad the president.
I'm glad the president. What Neville Chamberlain did
with Neville Chamberlain, he was an appeaser, Chris. He was an appeaser, and it energized and it legitimized.
Kevin James, what did Neville Chamberlain do?
Chris, may I try to answer?
He doesn't know.
Chris,
you
can
are
I answer?
BSing me. You are talking about a very critical point in American history and European history, and you can't tell me what Neville Chamberlain did at Munich. What did he do in 39, 38?
Chris, I wasn't the one that raised the Hitler comment. My point is what President Bush has done, as he has taken this shot across the back.
You don't know what you're talking about, Kevin.
I personally believe.
What do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about?
Tell me what Chamberlain did wrong.
Neville Chamberlain was an appeaser, Chris.
What did he do?
Neville Chamberlain was an appeaser, all right?
What did he do?
Neville Chamberlain, his policies, the things that Neville Chamberlain supported, all right, energized, legitimized, and made it easier for Hitler to advance in the ways that he advanced.
What? Okay, I'm sitting here for 5 minutes asking you to say what the president was referring to in 1938 at Munich.
I don't know.
You don't know. Thank you.
Chris, I don't know what the president. I don't know what the president was referring
to
when he talked about what was being said
you don't know
in
what you're talking about.
1930,
Your problem, Kevin, is you don't know what you're talking about. And the problem is you don't understand there's a difference between talking to the enemy and appeasing. What Neville Chamberlain did wrong, most people would say, is not talking to Hitler, but giving him half of Czechoslovakia in 38. That's what he did wrong, not talking to somebody.
Chris,
appeasement is giving away things to the enemy.
But Chris,
you don't know
there's a difference between...
I got to go to somebody who knows some history. Mark Green, help him out with some history here.
This is
pathetic. Kevin, please.
This is pathetic.
Kevin, you should probably be quiet.
What Chamberlain did in Munich.
Kevin, when you're in a hole, stop digging.
The reason